All right, we'll start off with Greg Logan, Newsday.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Greg.
Can you just describe your anticipation of the first preseason game, with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on the court together, healthy? What's your feeling, and it's your first game as a head coach. So what's your feeling heading into this?
I'm excited. It's a great opportunity after this process to get out there and have a dress rehearsal, so to speak, to kind of break the ice and get us one step closer to the real thing. So great opportunity for us to kind of feel it and run through it and hopefully get something out of the game. But also, it's paramount that we kind of, have this rehearsal, get the players into a rhythm of not just the play, but also of getting back into game days and what those entail. Because a lot of our guys haven't played for a long time, so it's great. We're just knocking off these little barriers and little steps and getting ourselves closer to the real thing.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Steve. You mentioned hopefully get something out of it. I mean, you only are playing, I guess, half the games, preseason games that you could have. I guess you could have had 4. What are the main things that you want to get out of the 2 preseason games that you're playing? Is that more rotations? Is it more judging the pace? Is it tinkering with defense? Well, what are the things that you do want to get out of these 2 games?
A bit of everything, really. The guys need to continually adapt to the demands. That's still really important with a short camp, 2 exhibition games, and then into a condensed regular season. That's pivotal for our long-term health and safety. So they need to play and to adapt to the rigors. They need cohesion. But then, obviously the priority for us is always going to be how we defend. So if we are continuing to build, give effort, buy-in, and connectivity at the defensive end, that's first and foremost. But a little bit of everything. I want to see how it goes, how it feels, how it looks. What combinations work well together, what rotations are possible, things like that. So there's something in almost all categories that we want to get out of the game, but not necessarily other than defense, a super emphasis on any of them. We just want to continue to build at everything we do, but defense would be the priority.
Christian Winfield.
Hey, what's going on, Coach? Obviously KD and Kyrie are going to start, but are you thinking about making any significant changes to the starting lineup based on what we saw last year in terms of obviously Karras and Joe and DeAndre? Are those guys you're anticipating starting for the preseason opener? And on top of that, as a second question, Torian said there's a world where we might see KD play the 1. Is that something that we'll see pretty soon? And if so, how do you think that would work out?
Well, I think Kevin will offensively play all 5 positions. He potentially could guard all 5 positions too. That depends. I don't know that we'll see a ton of time with him at the 1, but he's definitely a ball handler, playmaker that can thrive in pick and roll situations. So, he will play the 1 at times. But, again, we are trending towards positionless basketball. Our roster, we have lots of guys that can handle the point. Set the team up, make plays, so they'll all probably have a part in that. Tomorrow, we'll start. Karras is going to be out. Karras has a little contusion on his patella, so he's day to day. But we're just going to be really cautious since it's preseason. We'll start Kai, Spencer, Joe, Kevin, and DJ, and we'll try to get as many guys as much looks as possible to get them that rhythm and cohesion and keep building. But at the same time, we have to build accordingly. We're trying to get everyone a look, try to evaluate everyone, try to evaluate combinations, like I said, and give everyone a chance, as many people a chance as possible to get out there and feel the floor and the rhythm of an actual game.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, you touched on my first question, which was going to be about injuries. I'm curious, this is your first game as a coach tomorrow. What are your emotions going into it? Is there nerves? Is there confidence? Just what are you feeling going into this?
I'm excited. I'm excited. Another barrier to like I said, to knock down. it's great experience for me to kind of get my feet wet and understand the rhythm of coaching. It's gonna be a process for me, obviously, to be, totally comfortable over there. So it's great to get one out of the way tomorrow. But I'm excited and feel really proud of the guys, the way they've approached camp, and the energy and effort's been outstanding, and guys are buying in. So, those are the non-negotiables that have been great so far.
Blake Andrews, ESPN.
Steve, I know your job is primarily to shape what these guys are doing on the court, but we oftentimes hear coaches talk about how it's a dual job, who these guys are as people and who they are as players. And in that spirit, Kyrie Irving put out a statement yesterday that called reporters pawns and said that he won't be talking to us for now. He has no interest in doing that. I'm wondering if you've addressed that at all with him, or if you plan to, and why or why not.
I haven't addressed it with him thus far. It's a good question. He's been unbelievable in camp. He's been playing at an extremely high level. He's been a leader, and so while he may not be, in your guys' good books right now, he's in my good book. So, so I'm enjoying coaching him. He's been unbelievable. But if he seeks my thoughts or wants to discuss it, I'm happy to discuss it with him. But I have not had that conversation with him yet.
Tom Dowd, BrooklynNets.com.
Hey, Steve, with this kind of compressed preseason, has that affected how you've planned things out compared to what you might have liked to have done otherwise? Have you gotten in everything you would have liked to have gotten in before a first preseason game?
No, I think you have to make some decisions. You can't get everything in and be in shape, in this quick of a preseason. So you have to kind of prioritize some things. And I think we were heavy on prioritizing the physical loads and demands and trying to, take a longer, more gradual approach with, getting the details down. Because I think the number one thing is health and sustainability for our players. So getting them in shape and trying to err on that side as kind of a methodology going into camp was important to us. So this is gonna take a long time for us. We're gonna hopefully play good basketball at the gates, but hopefully be a work in progress and be refining throughout the year and growing and getting better the whole time. It's a new group. It's a very different world, and we're adapting and adjusting to so many things on the fly here that we have to be patient. At the same time, we'll set high standards and demands for the way we approach it, but it's going to take time for us to come together and see who we really are and start to grow a collective personality and look and feel, and that's fine. That's a fun process, and I think our guys have started on the right foot, and we're enjoying that process collectively because guys are playing so hard and with great attentiveness and energy.
Stephen Bondi, New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach. Back to Kyrie. There was also a fine involved. Do you have an understanding about why he feels this way and whether it will continue?
I don't. To be honest, I'm trying to learn my position as well right now. So I'm definitely focusing in on, our process here of implementing, all of our schemes, sets, scenarios, starting to, kind of schedule those things out, hitting the film every day. And so I haven't got into the off the court stuff yet. So I apologize if I can't give you a better answer.
Ryan Lewis.
Oh, that actually was what I was going to ask. So just to make it clear, you have neither an idea what set him off or put him toward thinking I'm going to boycott the media, nor do you have any idea when you expect him to resume his media responsibilities. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
Christian Winfield.
Hey, Coach, how much are you planning to read into this first preseason game? And do you have, I guess, any experiences as a player in preseason openers to where you can lean on to know whether, you're doing too much in terms of like highlighting things that went wrong or things that went right, or if there's certain themes that you see in the preseason over that are going to carry into the season. A, just how much you're going to read into it, and B, what's your experience been with preseason openers in the past with the players?
It's another tool, especially for a new team. We have a new coach, new staff, new players, guys who played in the bubble, guys who didn't, guys who have had long-term injuries. So there's so much change and so much that we're trying to manage here, that this is another opportunity for us to see where we're at, to see our level of detail and cohesion, to see what's working, what's not, where we're going to focus. So anytime you get more kind of data, reps on film, we can break it down and come back to the players with a refreshed look at it, or focusing on certain priorities or details that are most important. So, that's a process and a methodology that we're going to have all year. But it's just slightly different in that it is early. We haven't had a long opportunity to make sure everything's in or to see where we're at. So it's very kind of infantile at this stage. And so it'll still be quite broad as to what we get out of it, and we'll go from there. But it's something where we just have to be adaptable, mobile, and continue to build. And this is a great opportunity for us to look deeper into how we've done thus far.
Last question for Coach. We'll go back to Greg Logan.
Steve, you mentioned that Karras isn't going to play because of his injury, but and that Spencer will start. Do you have a firm idea not only of the starting lineup but of your rotation? Do you plan to keep it tight because you only have 2 preseason games, or do you feel a need to look at as many guys as possible?
Yeah, I don't think we'll keep it tight. I think we'll try to get a lot of guys looks. I think it's important to get, the high minute guys some good minutes, but not a typical regular season game type, so maybe it's, maybe on the high end we'll have some guys play 20, 25 minutes, but we'll try to spread it around, give everyone some looks, get people a chance to get comfortable and acclimated to real basketball again, and we'll go from there. Like I said, this preseason is important to us, and we'll still be, quote unquote, in preseason 4 or 5 games into the season. We usually play. I feel like we used to play 8 preseason games. So, that's just something we're gonna have to be playing at a level, ready to compete in whatever it is, 10 days. But in the meantime, we'll just keep building, and wherever we're at, we'll be at. But it's a process throughout the year to continue to get better every day. And so this will be sort of like we'll take this as an opportunity to rehearse, to go through the process, to get some data or some insight into how well we've done preparing and what we need to improve on, and we'll try to get a lot of people looks as well.